Hello, Internet Nation. Alexander here. I have been very sad, so let's talk about it, I guess. Uh, Shit is fucked up lately. I don't think I made a vlog in a while, but I started school, and there is a tiny blunt on my bed, which sucks. Because I'm trying not to think about smoking because, one, I have no money whatsoever, like at all. I got chicken yesterday to make stewed chicken, to attempt to make stewed chicken again. So at least I can have food for the weekend, I guess, because by that time, OnlyFans should have enough money for me to take out to be able to get food. I don't think my private client is going to get walks next week because she has a weekend sitting. And her hours just got reduced, so my hours with her dog are getting reduced, which I'm not horrified by. Are you hitting? No, you're pushing the bear, which is pushing. Fun! I swear the ashtray can't not be knocked over. But yeah, her hours are being reduced, so my hours are being reduced. And normally I wouldn't mind that because I don't like walking her dog. But, I was kind of benching on that $60 a week to survive. Oh well. Now, which is ironic because my desire to care for her dog has always been very low because, I don't like non-walking dogs, but she was a good client. And then we're going downhill now. First, her dog started to degrade and went from a decent walker to unbelievably racist to the point where she's walking slowly, waiting for the people miles behind us to catch up with us, just so she can sit there and stare at them or bark at them or whatever. And I'm just like, I came out here to walk. I didn't get on the train for an hour and a half because sometimes it takes an hour and a half to get from my side of Brooklyn to her side of Brooklyn, just for you to walk so slow that my legs start to hurt. And then just annoy me by being a racist to literally everyone. Some days it's every dog and every person. Some days it's every person. Some days it's just Jewish people. Some days it's just people behind us. And I didn't come out here for your racism. I came out here to walk. And then she has the parent has this habit of paying me late when I need the money. So I'll go there and I'll be like, okay, so her area is the only good area. Well, one of the only good areas for me to get weed because the dealers over there have good prices. So I remember there was this one day where I was like, all right, I'm gonna go after I walk the dog because I don't have money. And then usually, keyword usually, when I send the report and the payment request, it usually pays it really fast. That day I sat there for half an hour. It took, I don't know, 5-10 minutes to bike from her house to the weed spot, which is hilarious because usually when I walk her dog there, it takes half an hour to get there. Granted, we are walking, but we're walking agonizingly slow, and I feel like even if I were to just walk from her house to the spot, it would take me 10 minutes. It took me all of like 5 minutes to bike there. So I'm like, by the time I get there, she's gonna have paid me. I get to the spot. I'm waiting. I wait for like half an hour until I get too pissed to wait anymore because this wasn't the agreement. Especially if you're gonna sit there and text me about how terrible and make jokes about how terrible your dog is. Like, yeah, you would think that acknowledging how terrible your dog is, one, you would tip more, and two, you would pay me because the phone is in your hand. And you acknowledge the payment request because I reminded you to pay the payment request after you sending you the payment request, and then a reminder through the app to send the payment. And that was kind of like the final straw for me because she only doesn't pay me when I really need the money. So I had a friend lend me the money until she was done being dumb. And then even after I told her, hey, I'm trying to get something to eat, could you like pay me? She was like, I got you, and then proceeded to not pay me until after I got home. Mind you, I biked home, biked back to my area, which takes about 20 to 30 minutes, and then was sitting outside of a deli waiting for her to pay me so I can get a fucking sandwich before going home, because I hate going home, getting undressed, getting comfortable, and then, I just turned the fan off, and then, like, going back outside just to get food, especially when I don't necessarily enjoy the act of eating most days, especially with, like, I usually have teeth issues. But whatever. I get home, I give up on this bitch, and, start boiling water to make ramen, since apparently I don't get to eat I wanted to get a bacon, egg, and cheese from the deli, but since I don't get to have that, I was gonna make ramen, and then she paid me while I was boiling water, and I was so pissed off because imagine if I had opened the packet and put the fucking noodles in there. Now I would have to commit to ramen when what I really want is a bacon, egg, and cheese, but I couldn't get a bacon, egg, and cheese because you were refusing to pay me. And then the next week, well, actually, no. We had a normal week after that. Even though she said some weird thing like, can I pay you on Friday? And I was like, what are you talking about? The last walk is on Friday. That's fine. I didn't even ask you to pay me for this walk. Like she knew I was expressing anger over the whole situation online or something. But yeah, I didn't walk her dog this week. And she's cutting back hours. And I'm just like, look, if I move to a spot that is less conducive to coming out here, which, like, granted, it wouldn't be too complicated, but, like, if I move to my mom's house, I'm not taking a 2-hour train ride. Even if it is a straight shot, I'm not taking a 2-hour train ride to come walk your dog that doesn't like walking. Like, I'm not getting from literally almost the first stop in the Bronx to almost the last stop in Brooklyn for no $30 for no dog that doesn't like walking, especially if you're gonna go from 2 walks a week to 1 walk. What? And it's like, yeah, I could just take the train, do it before school, so then I'm going on the 2 to the 2. But, like, man, fuck you. Fuck you. You in the middle of fucking nowhere. You don't even tip me for the walks. Your dog hates walking. She's complicated as fuck. Even you know she's fake. Even you know she's the problem. So I'm ready to drop that. I just need... Why do I have a voicemail? Don't tell me Synchrony Bank just called me to remind me to pay my bill with money I don't even have. You gotta love how Synchrony Bank keeps calling you. Like, every single day they call me and they send me text messages and emails like, hey, it would only take a second to pay your bill. And I'm like, I'm very aware of how it takes a few minutes, actually, not even a second, because you can only pay by calling a number, which is stupid as fuck because they don't even let you set up direct deposit. They give you the option to like have the money just taken out and connect your account. But I guess since I don't have a fucking bank, they go, okay, fuck you. So you're gonna make it the hardest thing ever. And it's like, I understand, bro. It only takes a few minutes, but that requires you having money. I do not have money. I've literally been asking people to give me money so I can get food all month. I don't know what to tell you. Nobody is hiring. Everybody has positions available, but literally nobody is hiring. I don't even know what to tell you. Even the fucking dog walking companies want to sit there and blue ball you. So anyway, life sucks. Don't have a job right now. Don't have a source of income. Currently planning on moving out of where I am now, which sucks because I like having my own space. And the two options that I have to move are, I want to say pretty horrible, but I don't know, my brain won't say anything other than pretty horrible because that is kind of how I see the situation. I could move into my mom's house or my friend's house. And the irony of the situation is the plan is for me to take over my mom's apartment when she leaves in a few years. And she was like, oh, if you move in with me, you're going to have to pay, I don't remember what it was, like $500, which is like 60% of the rent for the whole apartment. And it's like, she said she just wants to make sure that I can pay for the apartment. But like, for one, if you're not leaving for like 4 more years, why do I need to pay 60% of your apartment? Because like, that's what it is. It's still her apartment. Even if I move back in, it's not like she's gonna be like, okay, so now that you're paying 60% of the rent, I'm gonna let you have 60% of the apartment and let you do what you want with it, so it's how you want it. No. She wants me to pay 60% of the rent. I can't have company over. Can't do X, Y, and Z. And it's just like, I don't really want to do that. I don't want to be paying all that money. And like, I don't even know if she's going to be like, okay, so I'm going to give you full autonomy because you're an adult and I'm going to take everything out of the fucking room so you can have the space. Like, no, I feel like if I move back in with her, I'm going to have to get rid of half of my stuff, just like I did last time, which I'm still sad about getting rid of that fucking futon, because it's like, you can't get rid of my bunk bed and kick my bunk bed out of storage for whatever made up reason you have. Mind you, it was only the top portion of the bunk bed, so it was just a small twin size bed, because the full size was at my dad's house, and I'm still mad about that, because everything I bring to my dad, so like my dad is a decent father. Sadly, the best father out of my friend group, because the good dads are dead. Well, I guess the best father in my friend group in New York. Let's say that. But like, he still constantly steals from me. You know, stole my bed, stole my van, stole everything I loved. He used to steal my cash as a kid. That's whatever. But Anyway, she's gonna make me get rid of my furniture. And I think you can go fuck yourself if I have to pay more than half the rent. Can't even have my own space. You're gonna go right back to controlling and dominating my life. I just don't want that, you know? Like, I'm not signing up for that. You can't have me pay all this money and I can't even have company because you're afraid of your things being stolen. Like, I promise you, my things are more interesting to steal than your things. Like, nobody I hang out with is gonna want antiques. They're gonna want fucking figures and teddy bears and androids and shit. And like, that's where the money is, you know? Nobody cares about your collection of clothing that still has the tags on it. Nobody cares. None of my friends are going to be touching your stuff. If someone's going to be stealing your things, it's me to sell the shit. You know? Because, I don't know. You raised the bad kid. Not even a bad kid. You raised the bad kid, not a kid with terrible choice in friends. You know? Anyway. It's like, your parenting is the problem, not other people's. Excuse my fidgetiness. There's something in my eye. I think it's gunk. I was looking in the mirror and there's like a tiny gray dot on my eyeball that keeps moving around. I just woke up. So, it could be sleepies. I don't know. Either way, I'm in pain. But anyway. So, yeah, plus she lives in the Bronx. And there's only one train. Over there, I'd be at the bottom of a hill again. Though it would be nice to be close to the park that I grew up at. Near water and grass and all that. And I probably would spend most of my time at the park. But then I would still feel very on edge and very far. I'd be maybe a similar distance. No. Because it takes me like half an hour to get home from school. You just hop on the one train that's like right there, transfer over to the L, and then boom, home in like half an hour, unless somebody's stupid and gets hit by the train again, because that seems to be what holds the L up the most. Not that it gets held up a lot, but usually if it's held up, it's because somebody got hit by a train. I don't know why so many people get hit by trains. Like, I hope it's intentional and not just you being stupid. You know, I'll take a suicide attempt over, oh, I fell, tripped and fell type stupidity, because why are we playing near train tracks? Did you know that people were dying because they're subway surfing this entire time? I thought when they said subway surfing, it was referring to riding between the cars. No, apparently niggas is getting on top of on top of the car. And every day is a stronger case for eugenics, and I just wish that people would understand when a person is mentally retarded and maybe, I can't even say maybe not have kids with them, because there's a difference between somebody who has like Asperger's versus somebody who is just very stupid. And I don't know if stupidity is a form of retardation, but the way some of y'all niggas do it, you might as well be clinically retarded, because why are we surfing the trains? Like, are our lives really that lame that we have to get addicted to the thrill of train surfing and aren't smart enough to realize, like, I can understand if somebody went on there and was like, I fully understand that this can kill me, and YOLO and all that shit. Then, you know what? Fine, go off, because YOLO indeed. But like, oh, I never thought I could die. I never thought I could fall off the top of the train while it rides through this. You're stupid. You're stupid. And eugenics should have got you faster. You should have been swallowed. Anyway, this isn't about humans being dumb. This is about my life sucking. Or let me not even, well, actually, no, it sucks very much, because starving to death and not even being able to smoke, even though I don't, it's a double whammy, you know, because the stress from not being able to eat or have anybody to talk to about anything, like, literally this decision took too long to make. I probably should have decided before October what I was going to do, but I'm just so overwhelmed, and school does not help me with my overwhelmedness, even though ironically school is the least overwhelming thing that I'm dealing with right now. I mean, aside from the fact that I never get paired up with somebody that I enjoy. I mean, granted, my last partner from Tuesday was pretty good, but then for some reason I ended up in the practice room with Kamal again, and nothing against Kamal. I don't have the mental bandwidth to deal with people who have a hard time understanding the English language. I don't, especially at this point, like every week I end up with somebody who is struggling in class. So I usually end up like navigating them through everything. This week was the first week that I didn't really have to like deal with that. Like the third week I got a newbie who was literally her first day in class, and that was the day that we went from just compression and jostling to 20 different moves that we had to do in an order. It literally went from lean and push to waterfall circles. I know that's tree circles, waterfalls, shingle strokes, soft fist. And I'm like, bro, she doesn't even know how to bolster. I almost worked with somebody who knew what they were doing, and then I made the mistake of inviting the new girl who was just sitting on the table to be my partner. Anyway, this isn't about the frustration of working with people that I have to guide. Direct, I don't have it in me. Plus, it was not my intention to be a tutor for the class. Valedictorian, sure. Top of the class, sure. But like a tutor for the physical and the all that stuff? No. Especially not for like this dude that doesn't even understand when the supervisor in the practice room is saying it's time to wrap up. Like, why do I have to tell you that it's time to wrap up? She already said that it's time to wrap up. Can you just finish so that I can get this woman to sign my paperwork before she just like randomly dips, even though she can't do that because she has to do the thing. But like, I'm not trying to hold her up anymore than necessary, so can't you just be an adult and understand what time to wrap up is? Anyway, but the most stressful part about school is learning everything. Like, I'm pretty sure, like, I'm just sitting in class half the time and I'm like, no, you made that stuff up. Our teacher will be like, oh, do the thing to this, and I'm just like, sir, it's like our third week. We haven't even gone over bones in biology yet, let alone muscles. So can you not just be throwing muscle names out there? Like, half the time I'm just like, yeah, he clearly made that up. And then our biology teacher would be like, okay, now do the homework, the third homework for, well, she never said third homework. She said, do the second homework. And I'm like, our second homework is due this week. And I'm just like, my guy, how can you give us homework with stuff on it that we haven't even gone over in class? Like, I understand that it's open book, but like, I only know what an ulna is because I Googled it. And like, I don't even know how to ask the internet half of this stuff. Like, which feature lies outside the knee joint capsule? What is a knee joint capsule? We haven't gone over that yet. Granted, I am looking at the third homework, but I promise you, even when we go over, I think it's bones. Yeah, we went over joints this week. So when we go over bones next week, we're still not going to know nothing about this shit. Like, my massage teacher be like, oh, we got to massage something over here. And he just be using all these words. And I'm just like, my guy, we haven't gone over bones yet. We haven't gone over muscles yet. You can't just be throwing all these words out. Like, it's bad enough that you be using the directional terms. And I'm just like, huh? What? It's so much. But, you know, ironically, I rather deal with all that. Like, literally on Tuesdays, we have our classes are 4 hours. Every class. And I take 3 classes a week because I didn't know what I was going to do about work and living situation, because you can't commit to school and then fuck up your availability for hours, which I feel like nobody wants to hire me because I work, I have classes at night, which like half of these places, it's like, you're not even going to be holding me until 5. So why do you care that I have school at 6? Anyway, Anyway, subscribe to my OnlyFans so I can support myself fiscally through that and not have to work for some asshole, because too many people are assholes. Don't mind me, I'm projecting, because literally my last job tried to ignore my quitting, despite the fact that there was a build up to it. There was a build up to it. Like, I texted her, like, what, 3 weeks earlier? And I was like, hey, slowly losing my mind here. Do you think you can give me more dogs that actually legitimately enjoy walking so that I can actually legitimately walk some dogs? Because every day I show up to work and these dogs either try to bite me, fight me, don't want to walk, and or have their own hang-ups. Like, literally, I had a dog that was on site with other dogs, and white people are the dumbest motherfuckers ever. They do not ever consider if a dog is dog aggressive. They do not ever consider if a dog is people aggressive. They just force themselves onto you. And I'm tired of white niggas forcing their dogs onto my dog. Especially, like, I remember I turned around one time. There was a golden retriever sniffing my dog's ass. And I'm like, if he realizes there's a dog sniffing him, he is not even going to think about it. He's going to turn around and it's on sight. And now we have a fucking dog fight because you have your dog in my dog's ass. I didn't even realize y'all got this close. Where did y'all even come from? You know, so I told myself that if the dog that bites me almost every day for trying to walk her bit me on Juneteenth, I was out, because I'm not going to be working for these white people and they have me getting bit on Juneteenth. Not only did that dog bite me, that dog bit the evening walker. I don't even know why they attempt to have an evening walker, because if I don't get the dog outside, nobody else is getting the dog outside. Nobody. No. Do you know how much? And the only reason I get the dog outside half the time is because I'm a fucking psychopath that doesn't care about being hurt if it means I get the job done. That's how my brain fucking works. That's how my autism is set up. That I will put myself at risk. I have to close the quiz just in case it was fucking timing. I think when you do an actual quiz on there, it will time you, which is hilarious, because the first time it took like 60 minutes to finish the first one because I kept getting distracted. And then by the time I like figured out all the answers and then redid it to have a 10 out of 10 for the teacher to actually grade, because we can redo the things, everything that she gives us is open book. She literally just gives us information and then sends us home early, which is fine by me, because like this stuff I practice on my own and I learn it all on my own. I don't know how I'm gonna, like, usually I'll use my body to remember things, which reminds me I still don't know what the fuck a shoulder is called. I know like every region of the body what it's called except for the shoulders, because I like memorized everything and I was like, all right, bet I know everything. Now I can basically tell you what every part of the body is called, except for like the gooch. There's a specific word for the gooch and I can't remember that one, and the shoulders, and I just have not looked at the thing since. Anyway, there's a timer that times the quizzes, and the first day it took me like 60 minutes, but then when I redid it to just get all the right answers, it took like 2 minutes. And I think that's hilarious because it always shows you times. Whatever, the teacher doesn't care. But the most overwhelming part about school is learning everything, because they give us so much information and they just throw it at us and then we just have to do. Like, especially since it's the double whammy of Tuesdays, we get a bunch of knowledge and then a bunch of manual things to remember and do. A lot of motions to remember, a lot of pressures to remember, a lot of body positions to remember. And then Wednesdays, it's like terms. Like, I'm not even looking forward to the stuff. Like, oh yeah, let's keep talking about atoms and how proteins are made up of amino acids and cells are made up of proteins, and you can tell a cell's what a molecule is based off of how many proteins it has, and yada yada. Compared to like the skeletal system, I don't know. No. I use that song that we learned as kids, that skull bone's connected to the neck bone. All that shit, just to, like, every time I sing that song, I was literally broke that song down, and I was like, what's it called? Because I broke it down with, like, anatomical terms, and I was like, the cervical's connected to the shoulders, which apparently the shoulder bone is connected to the clavicle, and the clavicle is connected to a whole bunch of other stuff that I didn't fucking know, which, like, it doesn't sound nice in the song, but it helps me remember. But then it's like you learn the truth, and it's like the skull bone probably made up of like 3 bones. We haven't gone over skulls yet, but like, I know for a fact, like, there's the jawbone, which probably has some funky ass name, and then the frontal, which is connected to the 2 back sides, because I only know that because sutures. I know this is like, I don't remember what these are called. There's a chest cavity that's like the plural cavities, which I think is hilarious because, like, everything has such specific names, and these guys just named the 2 sides of the chest cavity the plural cavities because there's more than one. And it's like, why can't everything be that simple? And yeah, we have stupid shit like the cervical region. Why is this a cervix? Which, I mean, I guess I get it because it is pretty similar to the other cervix, but, like, let's get creative. That's like having a Brooklyn Ave in every borough and state. Like, you can't just keep reusing names. There can't be a Martin Luther King Avenue from everywhere from New York to California. That's just confusing. Anyway. So, second option. Oh, I also wanted to point out that despite the fact that school is very overwhelming and involves me constantly stepping out of my boundaries, like last week we did legs for the first time. And you know what's attached to legs? These funky motherfuckers. And every time I do leg work on somebody, they got the crustiest feet, and there is no amount of applying the oil that they give us to the feet that makes these feet not so crusty. Like, I'm just trying. It'd be hard doing this motion on their feet because it's just like, yes, a nice pummel stone on my wrist. And it's like, bruh, please. Now that we all know that we're doing feet in class, I need everybody to exfoliate their feet. Like, it must be not horrible working on my feet because my feet are nice and soft. Like, you can tell that I be biting my toenails. But that has nothing to do with you. You don't even have to look at the toes, alright? You don't even have to look at the fucking skin built up around my toes because I need a pedicure. Because I don't know how to do a pedicure, So I don't know how to get all the extra skin that be growing from the sides. It's not as simple as nails. Plus, toes get beat up because they be in shoes all day. Which is why I don't be posting more foot stuff. Because, like, I don't know. I'm a little insecure about my toes. Because, for one, I bite my toenails. So they're usually not gnarly. They're not as bad as, like, how my fingers used to be when I used to bite my fingers. But, like, they'd be a little gnarly. I don't think feet people care because they're degenerates. But I don't know. Subscribe to my OnlyFans. I'll post more feet stuff there. Weird stuff, too. Like, putting my feet in stuff, which, yeah. So anyway, my second option is moving in with my friend, which seems, I don't know, just as daunting as moving in with my mom, because this friend likes to push boundaries and has a crush on me, and every time they see me, they always go for a kiss, but the way they hesitate, they make it seem like they want to do it a kiss on the mouth, and I'm like, how many times do I have to say I'm not interested before you stop trying to violate my boundaries? And it's not even like I see him kissing other people as a hello, so it's just like, you guys are very bad with boundaries, and like, if I am living with you, are you gonna think that means I want to hang out all the time? Because I don't. I can only handle so much of you guys in general, but at least if I live here, I feel like I'll have more freedom to, like, have people over and like the backyard is right there, so I don't have to like lie and like sneak around if I want to go smoke. Plus, there's an outside, like we have a little yard, so I can put my plants outside and maybe worry less about people fucking with my plants. Like, I definitely won't have to worry about my plants being covered in trash like I have to worry about here. And the plants that I have in my room, I can put outside so they can get sunlight too, even though I think they're dead, because the plants in my room are, aside from a cactus that has been slowly struggling to survive because I don't know how to take care of plants, and if they're absorbing my negative energies, then that's probably why they all died, because I've been feeling very negative lately. Because life sucks, you know? Life is pretty horrible right now, and I'm so stressed and overwhelmed, and it would be great if I had somebody to talk to about stuff, but I don't, because all the people in my lives are males that are emotionally stunted and don't know how to talk. Literally every time I say anything sad to these people, I get the equivalent of, oh, that sucks. And I'm like, yeah, that does suck. I would like to know what to do. So if you could help me think about solutions, which is why I don't know, I love me, because I'm one of those people where it's like, you probably don't want suggestions, but I am impulsed to give you suggestions. It's like, you know, if you just want to rant, you have to tell me, because I'm probably going to give you suggestions on what to do about the situation. But people aren't like that, apparently. They'll just tell you that that's too bad and that sucks, you know? And like, I understand that it sucks. That doesn't help me figure out a solution, nor does it make me feel vindicated in my feelings, you know? What time is it? Because I still have to go to school. I want to go early to pick up my ID and get unlocked out of my account, because I emailed them 2-3 weeks ago, the help desk, and still have not received a response. I don't know. Maybe I just don't have access to email or something, because all the people I was talking to about jobs just randomly stopped messaging me. I don't know what to do, you guys. Subscribe to my OnlyFans. That's the only thing I have control over. And yeah, I don't even know how I'm gonna like post content. Like, I'm hoping that my friend gives me the little room that he has, which also sucks because he has a railroad apartment, and railroad apartments are the worst. I don't understand why so many people make railroad apartments. Who thought that a railroad apartment was good for a family? It's not. It's not good for a family. Nobody wants to be walking through somebody's space constantly. So that's depressing, you know? So that's going to minimize my space even more, because I'm going to put up a curtain so that he could just walk through without me having to see him, because I don't want to see people all the time. I really like my me time, you know? I really like being secluded in my darkness and not having my sleep interrupted and not being spoken to all the time. Like, literally, I will wait for people to finish in the kitchen before I go and do stuff, because I don't want to interact with humans right now, especially someone so much. So I'm hoping that it's not horrible and I don't get sexually harassed by these two, and it's just nice and I get some semblance of normality, and it'll be nice to not constantly be put into the negatives, because nothing sucks more than having to pay $1,000 each month. It'll also be great to have the weight off my chest, because I can't tell you how bothersome it is living in a room where it's like I'm constantly afraid every time it rains, because I'm like, oh, is today the day that my fucking ceiling caves in? Because apparently there are nasty little goblins leaving trash in the gutters, or leaving trash on the roof, and the way the roof is set up, everything's just gonna go into the gutter. So if you leave plastic on the fucking roof, it's gonna get caught in the gutter, and it's only a matter of time before the ceiling collapses. And I can't help but wondering if Tati is going to inform the new tenant that every now and then they have to go up on the roof to make sure that the gutters are clean, so that their ceiling doesn't cave in. It should also be interesting for her to sell a room, because you know she's gonna sell it for the heightened price because the rent is going up. So you gotta pay what, $100? $1,100 a month, and for a room that you rented, that the ceiling was already starting to cave in. And part of me wonders if like something fell into the chimney, into the fireplace, and just died there, or if somebody dropped something down there, because I remember hearing something fall into the fireplace one day. So I don't know. I didn't even hear like footsteps up on the roof, so I don't know if it was an animal. I don't know what it was. I do not fuck with the fireplace because like it's not like a large opening to the fireplace. You just have this little circle, and I have the circle blocked off because when I had a cat, I was fostering a cat. That cat would run literally everywhere and be all up in there and try to constantly climb in there. So I had to like close it and then block it with a painting so that they couldn't even access the hole, because the only thing really stopping something from entering the fireplace and then crawling into your house is this little round door that is stupid, because like you can't just close it. You have to like, it's like attached to with a nail, so it's just swivels. So you have to like put your finger in this little indent, which is dumb, and then swivel it into the place and then try to like get the mechanics to lock. And then even so, all you have to do is really poke it hard and it's still gonna come off. So who knows what's gonna crawl in here. Plus the floor is fucked up. The amount of times the floor has just grabbed a sock, and if you step on the floor the wrong way, you're definitely getting a whole giant splinter impaled into your foot. So that should be fun. You know, damages that I did aside, like, well, I didn't get dye on the floor because I'm not an idiot that fucking squeezes the hair over the floor. Anyway, I did put these dents in the wall because they used to do construction and they would just be right next to my head at 7 in the morning, so I would bang back with my tomahawk, which left dents in the wall. But you know, that's nothing that can't be fixed with some plaster. My intention before I moved out of here to fix the wall and take the bed down, buy a new bed frame, and then put that in here. I didn't even realize that this thing had like fancy brackets. I don't know. Wherever I go, I can't have a fancy little hidey hole. I'm just gonna like take the curtains because the curtains are mine. I mean, the curtains were Fumi's, but Fumi said I could keep the curtains, so the curtains are mine. No way. Like, I really enjoy the yellow and red curtains. They're very pretty, as you can see. Like, these are the same yellow curtains that I have hanging on the wall to just as a thingy, but these are already like really bleached from blacklight. That's what this white strip is from, blacklight. And I like the red ones, and of course I'm taking the blackout curtains. She said I could have them, so they're mine, and I'm taking the mirrors, so the only thing that's really going to be left in here is the bed, which, like, they can keep that throughout the structure if you want, and just keep the mattress, because the mattress already came in here. These mattresses I'm taking, because these are mine. I found these fair and square. And the closet that is falling apart because my clothes are really heavy, but once I remove all my heavy-ass clothes, it should be fine. And part of me is kind of like worried that the fucking stripper pole is what's keeping the roof up. Anyway, so that's what's going on with me. Sadly, don't think I'll be able to keep the pole at my friend's house, even though I don't mind putting it up in like the kitchen or something. I don't know. I'll ask them how they feel, because then he and his girlfriend could also use the pole. I don't know. Poles are fun, you know? And sometimes I just like having it there and swerving around it and having fun and doing all this stuff. So he has friends over sometimes. It could be fun as a group activity to just play with the pole or whatever. I don't know. I'm hoping that something better comes up, because I would like to have some semblance of comfort. It would be nice if I could get a job. I think what's going to end up happening is I'm going to leave out of here and then get a job and then be able to like not constantly be at zero because I have to pay $1,000 for a place I'm stressing over. It would be nice to not have the stress of my ceiling threatening to collapse every time it rains really heavy. I don't even want to imagine what it's going to be like when it snows and there's just snow sitting on the roof, helping it was already leaking. Like, there was literally water coming through the ceiling. And last time it rained really heavy and the thing was blocked. It was literally and it was like swollen. So the ceiling is coming down. The ceiling would have came down that day if I didn't do anything about it. And the ceiling almost came down when I was dog sitting for 2 weeks, which would have been the suckiest thing. Like, you want me to pay for rent and I have a sunlight. Right. That didn't even happen while I was here. So I couldn't even stop it. But I'm the one that has to go up on the roof. Me. Like, literally the first day I did it, it was the middle of the night. And it was raining really hard. So, and when I went up there to unblock the gutters to make sure my roof didn't fucking cave in, and $1,000 is just too much to be paying for me to have to do that. Like, no maintenance whatsoever. Nobody even told me that. So anyway, that's where I am. Just a quick update, I guess, because I'm running out of storage space. Because fuck me, I guess. So until next time, Internet Nation, maybe I'll make a part 2 to this because I'm still sad and would still like to ramble a little bit more. I was going to use my iPad that has more storage space to record, but the footage looked horrible. Not that it didn't look worse when I used my phone.